Hello, welcome back to Little Kodaks. Today I have a special camera for you guys to see, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of cleanup on this camera also. This is the Kodak World's Fair flash camera from 1964 to 1965. There was a World's Fair in Queens, New York. And the Kodak Pavilion sold this camera for about $8. It uses an AG1 flash bulb. This little guy. Slide right in there. And it used 127 film. So when you're done with the flash, it has a little release mechanism here. That'll pop it out. It had a 13.5 f-stop 50 millimeter meniscus lens, and it's really just a piece of plastic there in front of the shutter mechanism, which is released by this. And then on the bottom, it had a hand wind crank where you would wind your film, and had a little red window here on the back, so you could see which frame you're on. To open up the back, it had a little slider here. You can see it says lock and open, and when it's in the open position, the back of the camera pops right off. I was lucky enough to actually get a roll of 127 film that came inside the camera. This is a Verichrome Pan 127, which is a black and white film. And there was one frame of this taken. So I took it into the darkroom and I went ahead and rolled it back onto the roll so you guys could see how this guy gets loaded up. So once it gets loaded, we're going to go ahead and wind it up. First we give it a couple winds. It will wind itself right up. And it even comes with some instructions on there. Outdoors in sunlight or light overcast, indoors with flash. Back on there. Lock her back up, and then you can see through the red window there that we'll know which frame we're on. And like I said, the first frame was already taken, so I'm just going to go past that. Arrow let me know the first frame is coming up. And there's our number one. So we would take our shot and then we would go on to the next frame. And there's number two. Number two was on there, and it doesn't have any double exposure prevention there. So we are going to leave that on 2 until I am ready to take the rest of the shots on that roll of film that I got, just to see what we got in there. You may ask, hey, I didn't see a battery compartment on here to be able to fire off that bulb. Well, here in the back, you have a screw. And that will release the front of the camera. And check out these old batteries that are in there. these Ever Ready Energizer red batteries. Lucky for me, they were not corroded, but these guys are straight out of the 60s. Transistor battery, union carbide. But they're still the same size as regular AA batteries, not AAA that we normally would be using to set these bulbs off. I'm gonna go grab a couple of AA batteries and put them in here, and we're gonna see if we can get that flash to work. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so these are what modern day Energizer batteries look like. So pretty cool to see what they used to be in this bright red color. Okay, so we get one going up and one going down. We'll put our face back on, screw our screw in. All right, let's see if this camera from 1965 still got it in it. There it is, pretty cool. And once we're done with that flash bulb, we don't need to touch it. We can just hit the release and out it comes. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is get this guy cleaned up. He is pretty dusty and dirty, so we are going to get some isopropyl alcohol and do a little bit cleanup. All right, so I'm glad you stuck around this far. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe down below, and we're gonna get started here and get this guy cleaned up a bit. I'm going to get a screwdriver here and take the front of this off. Now this camera was very similar to the Hawkeye Flash Fun, except with this camera we got this little lens shield put onto the top of it, and the Flash Fun did not have that. It was pretty much flat there on the front. Once we remove this, the actual lens itself comes off, and that is just open up right to the shutter there. Okay, and I'm going to take this front part off too, so I can really get in there and get it nice and cleaned up. Batteries out so they don't stay in there and get corroded. I really was surprised that these batteries had no corrosion on them. They still look great. Nice bit of nostalgia there. Okay, so I'm gonna get started with these pieces first. For the lens, I'm just going to use some water to clean that guy. I don't think I need to put any alcohol on there to get that cleaned up. And this is really just a piece of clear plastic. It's not glass or anything like that. And it just sits on the front of that camera. So I got that pretty good. Now we are going to move to some alcohol to get the rest of this guy cleaned. So I'm going to take these two screws out. Set them aside. And this guy's pretty dusty and dirty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get all these pieces cleaned up, and we're going to zip through this pretty quick. Now this reflector piece here is clear plastic and it's painted silver on the back. So that's how they made this front piece. So you can't scratch that silver off from the front, but you could definitely scratch it off from the back. And there's a couple little spots. One right up here and another one right down here that I may end up touching up later, but I'm not going to mess with those guys today. Alright, so that cleaned up pretty nice. There's some actual burn marks down there on the inside, but once you put a little bulb in there, you don't notice them too much. Set that guy aside. Do a little bit more on this piece. Alright, not going to touch this. This is actually a sticker, so it is like a paper sticker that's on there. So, and it is in pretty beautiful shape. So this little globe here on the top was a 12-story stainless steel globe that they call the Unisphere. And this guy is still in that park in Queens, New York. So you could actually go there and see it. It's 140 feet tall and 120 foot in diameter. You can also see two of the observation towers that were in the movie Men in Black that are still there in Queens, New York. All right, so now we are going to get this guy touched up on the body. So I'm gonna hit all the sides and then we'll reassemble and our camera will be looking good. So stick in there, we're gonna finish this up. All right, so I actually hit it with alcohol and a combination of that and water, because the alcohol was leaving kind of a film on there. So I went over most of it with water, but I got it really nice and clean. The top was really had like stuck dust on it, so now that is nice and shiny, and we are going to reassemble. Put the lens back on. We are going to get our tiny Phillips head screws for our front plate. Put that guy back on. Our little lens hood. Put up the front of our reflector back on, which is also our battery cover. And there it is. The World's Fair flash camera by Kodak from 1964 to 1965. It retailed for about $8. I don't know if I said that earlier, but it did. And here it is, all cleaned up and ready for display. I can pop on my new AG1 flash bulb. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and until next time, have a great day.